He's saying more and more. He's saying more and more. So how does Russ know? Where's the line? At some point in time, the NBA needs to take a hard stance. Once it becomes racial, once you talk about somebody's wife or parents, you got to go. Don't pass out no cards. In Utah, they hand out warning cards. Nah, bruh. Don't hand out no warning cards. This is going too far, Skip. And they're ratcheting up this racial because I believe Russ. I do not believe Russ reacted the way he did because this gentleman told him to put ice on his knees. Russ was 99% inbounds. Now, I don't like the fact that but I don't believe Russ was going to put his hand on his wife. Russ, at that point, was warning, okay, now, I've had enough. You said what you said. Let it go. That's why he said what he said. I'm not condoning it, but I do not believe Russell Westbrook was going to go up there and strike that man's wife. Now, maybe the man's a different story, but Russ was trying to give you fair enough warning to leave well enough alone. It's hard for me to believe. And he was just matter of fact. I just told him, and the guy asked me, Skip, you can say things, racial epithets are not swear words. So it didn't mean you mofoed him or SOB'd him or anything like that. No. But you could have said something else that's a trigger.
Yep, I agree. This has many layers to it.
Very.
So I've had a lot of experience in Salt Lake City with that crowd covering big playoff games, many of them played by Michael Jordan. And that place has a reputation for some of the most vicious insults in the NBA. It's a crazy, lively crowd, and I respect that part of it. It's sort of a small town basketball crowd. Where
that's all they have.
That's all they have. Yep. And they go crazy, and it gets high decibel vicious, because I sat courtside at a lot of those games.
Okay.
And obviously for a while, they tried to turn their insults on Jordan, and you know how he responded. He never even acknowledged anybody. He just kept scoring. And there was the 97 flu game, game 5. He went for, 38 in that game. And then the classic game 6, when he closed them out with 45, held the pose. So he went that way. I never once saw Michael even turn and acknowledge anybody with a glance.
Right.
I don't know for a fact whether that ever got racial or racist. I don't know. This probably did. I don't know that for a fact, but it certainly, given that tweet, has the possibility, the capability of going
based
over the line.
The gentleman's history.
On his history.
Right.
Then he also tweeted during the playoff series last year, which obviously Utah won, and it got crazy emotional, obviously. And he tweeted then, Westbrook is a piece of classless, you know what? Somebody needs to kick his ass, okay? Hashtag tool, hashtag poor loser, okay? And that was when Westbrook had knocked the cell phone out of the fan's hand when he tried to stick it out.
Right.
I don't know what he was doing, but he just knocked it out of his hand. And okay, so now we're back to where are we now as we evolve in the NBA into today's NBA? I've always had a rule of thumb, and I've told you this from the start. I just believe in not responding, but I've thought that from the start. In my little world where I go out and I've been insulted in public, and I just try to ignore because I don't know how I can win that fight.
Right.
If it does, and again, I don't get racially insulted. I do get insulted though, and some of it gets very personal.
Right.
And some of it somehow my wife can get she wants to fight.
Right.
And she probably would if I would let her, but where are we going with that?
Right.
So to me, my second rule of thumb has always been, well, again, the first rule of thumb, just block it out, tune it out, because if you respond to it, you just fuel it and make it worse, because they're trying to get under your skin. They're trying to get you off your game. That's the whole intent of it.
Right.
But I do think there's a new line that's getting crossed, to your point about Twitter, where these are frustrated fans. They might want to be you, they couldn't be you. And so they're going to get you. They're going to get even with you because they paid their money. They can say whatever the hell they want to say, right?
Because they believe that. They believe that too.
Okay, all right. So then there's rule of thumb number 2. There's a new way. You just turn and find the nearest security person or usher, and you just say, him out.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure they will usher them out if you convince the usher or the security person, he just said this to me.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they'll do that.
Right.
I'd hope so.
So that's one way out of this. That's the cleanest way out.
Right.
Okay, so Russ, I'm going to get to a point about Russ here, because Russ is different. He's built different than Michael Jordan. He's built different than most people.
Yes.
he actually is fueled by all this because it doesn't get him off his game. It actually gets him on his game.
Right.
He played great last night.
Unbelievable.
I watched the whole game, and down the stretch, he was sensational. With 2:51 left in the game when it was still teetering a little bit, he hit the deepest three he's made all year. He shot it from 5 feet beyond the top of the circle three-point line. It was a bomb. And you can't tell me that was for that, that wasn't for that guy. That was like, here. And he goes up the court, and he's screaming at everybody as he goes up the court. Okay? Bully for him. But when you go over the edge into, I'm going to F you up and I'm going to F your wife up, not that he felt that because, like you said, he put his family on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? So let's do the hypothetical. Let's do Shannon Sharpe in the street and you get racially insulted. You get inward insulted. Okay, what are you going to do now? How are you going to handle this? Seriously, think about it. Are you going to put hands on? Are you going to...
Skip. You want me to lie? You want me to tell you the truth?
I just want to tell you the truth.
You always told me. You say when I took this job, you say I just want you to be truthful.
All right.
Skip, you're probably gonna have a new partner.
Okay. Because you're risking everything if you put hands on him. If you bust him up.
Yeah.
If you put your fist in his face. You're
probably gonna have a new partner come Monday or Tuesday.
You're a big man. You're going to risk hurting him badly. You might even risk. I'm going to go to the nth degree. You're going to risk killing the guy, right?
I ain't gonna kill him, Skip. But he'll probably wish he'd never. You know what, Skip? My thing is, I can't stop him from uttering that word.
Yep.
But I can break him of the habit of ever saying it again.
Okay. All right. And you just might have to do some jail time for it. Is it worth it? Yeah, it might be. It might be. Like you took a stand and you stopped it. You at least stopped it in that case.
Yes.
Okay, I get you. Russell has a lot more to lose than we have to lose, right?
Right.
So he is the face of a franchise. He's one of the faces of the NBA. And at some point you have to say, what am I doing? Is it worth it for that guy's sake? This little tiny guy in Salt Lake City, Utah, is it worth it because he said that? There are a lot of those little guys out there who are thinking and saying or tweeting the same thing.
Skip, I get a lot of time. Tony Gonzalez better than you.
Yeah,
Gronk better than you.
All right, good.
I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
If you want to keep it, Skip, if you want to keep it about, I don't like the Broncos. Okay, I get all that, Skip.
Yep.
But for you to come up to me and to say that, okay, so what? You came. I'm gonna give you what you're looking for.
Okay. Because it's possible, especially in any bar situation, you might get that.
That's why I don't go out.
Like that. That's exactly why.
That's why I don't go out. I know me. Skip, the one thing Shannon Sharpe knows about Shannon Sharpe, I know me. So I do everything. Everybody say, well, you're a homebody. You don't do anything. You're absolutely right. Because I know me.
Okay.
I know Shannon Sharpe better than anybody. And I never have. Even from the time, Skip, I grew up in rural South Georgia. And the only time I really got in fight from kindergarten all the way through, when somebody uttered that.
Yep. Okay. I got it. It's the most evil word in the English language. I wish somehow we could abolish it, but we can't. Yeah. It's out there, and it's probably going to stay out there.
It's going to stay.
Yeah. And so with Russ, he continues to say, if we were in the street, so he's doing your hypothetical. If we're in the street, I'm going to F you up. Are you really Russell Westbrook? Would you risk your whole career for that? Because that could destroy your career if you destroyed him.
We're just slapping.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
All right, slapping would be one thing. You'd still get arrested. You'd still, right?
Yeah.
It's still assault.
Because here's the thing, though, Skip. But you have to understand, what would a normal person do in a like situation? That's what you have to ask yourself. And that's what I'm going to go to court. And I'm going to fight it. I'm going to say, what would a normal person do? What provoked you to do that?
And now, by the way, this guy is threatening to sue Russell for some sort of, what would you call it? But it'd be like slander, because you accused his wife of doing something that she, according to him, did not do. He said she just, what's that?
Like we can pull his tweets.
Okay.
But Skip, if she said nothing, why would Russ even respond to her?
Don't know.
It's like if you get into
Good question.
If you and I getting into an argument, why am I gonna say, Jenny, you need to shut up? When Jenny hadn't said anything. You only gonna respond to a third party if they engage when you going one-on-one with the other person. He must be think we don't. We know how the rules of engagement of argument works.
Yep. So just for the younger viewers out there, there's a long history in this country of heckling live performers. It goes back to vaudeville or where, back to the old West days. You know what they did when they didn't like a performance? They threw rotten fruit at the performer on the stage.
Right.
So that's what used to happen.
Right.
Heckling is just, it's an art form in this country. It's gone back for centuries. Heckling to get the performer off his act, right?
Yeah, but Skip, they weren't
Now,
saying
they weren't. That's what I'm saying. Now we've gone over. We've crossed that line into this.
Right.
And Russell's not going to stand for it. But I still say, deep down, he knows that he looks forward to the back and forth because he engages like crazy.
Right.
And he engages profanely with them. It's an eye for an eye. He's going to, he's going to give as good as he gets, right? Mm-hmm. And yet he thrives on this. He welcomes it. He embraces it. It's what makes him go. He needs to have that chip grow on his shoulder. And the more you make that chip grow, the worse off you're going to be as the home team fans, right?
Skip, even when I played, and I heard people say things, but it really never got racial. The only one time, and it happened to me in Denver, and I used to have it when I scored a touchdown early in my career in '93, I would do the Hulk pose. I would do this. And we were warming up in Denver one day. I think it was 1994. And I heard it. Hey, Shannon, Shannon, you going to do the gorilla? Mm-hmm. I say, did I hear what I thought? Because it's pregame. Yeah. So it's not a whole, it's people there, probably like 8, 9, 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Did I hear what I thought he said? So I go run my route. He said it again. I walked to the fence, Skip.
Wait, where were you?
I was in Denver.
In Denver?
In Denver. I walked to the fence. He probably had a few to drink.
Yeah.
I said, my man, check this out. I said, you know what they call the pose. I said, you say that again, I'm going to whoop your ass. Mm. You know what he said, Skip? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Simple as that, Skip.
I'm not sure this guy would have said he was sorry.
Nah. No, he didn't.
Wrong.
But the thing was, Skip, when you know you wrong, that's the thing. Like Kyrie apologizing. He knew he handled some situations wrong. So he said, guess what? I'm getting off social media. I apologize to the media. I apologize to my fans. Skip, when you know you're wrong, sometimes emotions get the best of you and you say things that you normally wouldn't say. But it's okay to say, you know what? Bro, I shouldn't have said that. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Russ. I shouldn't have said that. Mm-hmm. But he went there with the sole intention. Because if you remember, Skip, he said he was filming it because he would send it to his buddy because this is what he wanted to happen.
Wanted the attention.
Mm-hmm. He wanted it. Mm-hmm. But I just want to know, why are you deleting your past tweets?
Well, it's obvious.
Because it leads to the your credibility.
Yep.
Now you look foolish saying the only thing I said was that Russ, sit down and ice your knees. No way, Russ. Look, Russ Skip, we all agree, sometimes Russ has a quick trigger.
Sure.
But Russ is not reacting like this to somebody saying ice your knees.
No.
That's not happening.
No.
Russ is not going to interject with that. Russ is a family man. He loves his wife. He loves his mom. Russ is not going to respond to that man's wife without her engaging him. I don't believe that he would.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know it for a fact, but I don't believe it. So if there's one small takeaway for what it's worth, Russ did get the last laugh on the basketball court, right?
They won.
And it might have been their most impressive win of the year. I know that seems almost insignificant in this context, but at least you got that.
And he blocked Gobert's shot.
He blocked it right in his face. He blocked it. Face to face, he blocked his shot.
The NBA got to do something about this.
Yeah. Well,
we're going to
more
talk about
security.
Yeah,
quicker ejections of fans. There's got to be a way that you protect. Russ said, we're not protected. Well, then you need more security.
That he has had to say these words.